Hello, my back to the man, my Steve Beast, and today we're back with Maiden Serenade again. We have a whole lot to say here. Oh, right, almost forgot. Offline. So yeah, I'm not gonna faff around, let's get into it. Gonna meet up with Mizuga, who's on top of my schedule. Who's at the top of my schedule. Before that, what'd you all come here for?
偶然だね。ええ、偶然というものもあったものですね。
不幸な事故というやつかもしれん。
ごめんなさい。
まあまあ、いいのかな。
Things don't work out as you expect or something like that, right? What have I done to deserve this?
ほら、そういえば今日何かありませんでしたっけ？そういえばね。
あったような。はい。思い出せぬ。あの時刺激した術の代償で失った記憶か。
Are you talking about the photo shoot job?
それか。
脳を直接いじって思い出。
Drop the act, will you? Such blatant lies.
まだ相手決まってないよね。
I haven't. I'm ashamed of my own indecisiveness.
そして七里くんは今日偶然私たちと会う約束があったらしいではありませんか。
Well, I guess, but I think I might need to relearn the definition of a coincidence. You might too. What kind of communication network do they have behind my back for them all to know all the ins and outs of my plan? Can you believe it? Some of them are still afraid to text one another. We're still afraid just to text one another just a few days ago. I feel happy for them if it weren't for this whole situation.
順番的に最初に会う人間が強引どころか重木に脅迫されて相手役に選ばれては不憫だからな。トーク、私でいい。おっと危ない。何者かの魔力に襲われるとこ急に押し倒すのはひどいよ。
The situation has really gotten out of hand.
遺恨が残らないように心配しているんですよ。
Sorry about that. Are all of you interested in doing the modeling job?
そんなまさか。
誰が重木なんぞと。
まあ、匠に頼まれるならね。
別に全然。私はむしろ。
Do they need the money that badly? That's the case, I have to apologize to them. I don't know why they need the cash so much, but I've been trying to pick one of them for completely unrelated
いっ
reasons.
そ鬼ごっこでもして、匠が最初に捕まえた人にでもしようか。
Are you setting me up for a public execution? At this rate, things might be decided on the spur of the moment. For horror-related developments like this, protagonists in light novels and manga would avert the worst-case scenario with a joke or by the occurrence of some impossible coincidence. But the real world isn't so convenient that I'm no protagonist. Yes, this is real life. I have to take action in order to attain the future I desire. Very well, let's settle with a game of rock, paper, scissors.
じゃんけん？どういうことじゃ？
We'll let luck decide, so there won't be any complaints later. You'll all be my opponents. It's unfortunate, but the loser will have to model with me.
じゃんけんですか。
Kaida looks down at her hand, like her life is slipping through her fingers.
匠さんと時の運ですね。確かにここまで来たらそれくらい単純な決着の方が禍根は残らぬやもな。そうなの？それにわわわはじゃんけんが得意だ。
あなた最初にパー出す癖は治ったの？
それ言っちゃダメなのに。
At least I seem to agree with my plan. No, it's a solution. It's the only solution available now. Perhaps deep down inside, they want to keep our relationships as is. Nah, I shouldn't jump to conclusions like that. But if that's the case, I'm sorry, everyone.
一ついいかな。
Yeah,
不正はないのかな。
swear to God. There's no cheating, yet still, firm conviction defies truth and fairness. Well, let's get it done, shall we? Try to face the girls and nonchalantly whisper into her ear. I'll keep repeating scissors, paper, and paper exactly in that order. Okay, let's get started. Shouldn't look directly at her face. It doesn't matter who wins now, there are just too many unknown factors. Only knowing my pattern does little to assure a victory. I've made up my mind about who I want to be with. All that matters now. If I can make a wish, I wish that she'll be the one. Rock, paper. At the peak of tension. Hold on a sec.
もうター
I'm seriously having suspicions that this thing is cursed. Shiona seems to be recalling our conversation last night. I averted my eyes from her silent, alarmed expression to answer the phone.
くん匠
Mom? It's Mom. Do you want me to hurry up? Sorry for the wait a minute.
またまたご冗談を
I'm serious. Could you give me a name? I can give you a name in just a few
そ
seconds.
れなんだけど聞いたら撮影みんな一緒でもいいって
What?
何かありましたか？
The concern is visible in their faces, but the issue at hand comes
なん
first.
かね楽しそうな様子が撮れればいいんだってさ
At the very beginning, I asked you if there was a chance they changed their mind, didn't I? Do you remember what you told me?
神に誓って母さんが思うに無宗教でそういう人は大体適当なこと言ってるわね心当たりない
どうしたんだい？こっちをじっと見て。
God's punishing me, I guess. I did have something else in mind, actually.
そんなわけでみんな連れてきちゃっていいからじゃあね
I'm so shook I don't even realize the call
どう
ended.
したのじゃ
Well, looks like we can all join in the photo session.
つまり？
It's kind of awkward, but at least we'll still make it in time. No, it is too freaking late! A shout to the void seems to have startled the girls. Fate didn't make it in time. Nah, maybe I was one step ahead of fate itself. Whatever, doesn't matter. Mind is overtaken by astonishment, because... her face seems red. Is it from anger? Or is she processing her current situation? What would have happened if she'd followed my words? Oh, this gives me the feeling that we are semi-locked into the route. Doesn't say anything new though. I expect to tell that she's trying to read into my words to find out the intention behind them. Oh! Betrayed in traffic and only silently cry my heart. On the beach of Suminoe. Even though the sun has long set, the place is filled with people.
あ来た来たやっほー
Look at these about Miyabi is sitting on a beach towel at this location she texted me. We can relax here on the beach and still be able to watch the Suminoe Fireworks Festival. Sorry, the photo shoot took longer than I expected.
大丈夫これからだから
Sorry, Jim. Sorry I made you stake out a spot for us.
いいってそれよりまた命拾いしたみたいねこのハーレム主人公
Not like that, Miyabi.
またまた謙遜しちゃって
I'm serious. Shoulders droop down in defeat. I think back to the events leading up to the rock paper scissors game. There's no cheating. It's still firm conviction defies truth and fairness. I think I'm gonna cry for real.
撮影はどうだった
That's fine. The whole group joining in didn't cause any problems in particular. The topic keeps us talking for a while until the crowd suddenly goes silent. A single gigantic flower of fire blooms atop the sea. Immediately after that, continuous streams of starline and rings of sea fireworks start to blend in. Red, yellow, blue, green, purple, orange, pink. The lights vanish within seconds, only to be promptly replaced by another explosion of color. Our night sky has become a kaleidoscope with colorful, prismatic rays of light shifting above us.
綺麗だね
While everyone's enchanted by the lights of the sky, I suddenly feel a soft sensation on my hand. I wonder if it was just an accident. Girl seems a little embarrassed as she looks up at me. Her hands touch, even overlap, but we leave it at that. Like everyone else, my eyes are glued to the fireworks in the sky. My heart is overwhelmed by a small connection. It feels warm yet ticklish. It's enough to make something inside me overflow. The blossom of fire continued to dominate the night sky. The beauty begets applause from people all around us. Our eyes meet. We've been thinking the same thing. I nod. The firework rises. Tamaya! Does anything change here now? No? Then our voices fade into the boundless night. Oh yeah, We
ありがとうございます。
definitely are on her route now.
またのご来店をお待ちしております。
Doesn't state anything on the fucking save screen, but I think her fucking tiny little gremlin chibi on the lower right corner said all we need to know. Nothing in the tags suggests that you have to beat other routes first, because like now I'm confused. How the fuck do we... Because we had the shrine option and the childhood friend option, and then it was just picking people twice. Is that first option just doesn't fucking matter? Or is it a case of like we need to beat something first in order to unlock the other routes? Because that feels weird. Or is it just the two, hey, pick someone options? Is it even two? Or is it just one? Well, there's a quick way to find out. It is this one. And this one's just fucking child friend or not. And then before that, there's fucking nothing. So either there will be a choice that's unlocked later.
またのご来店をお待ちしております。
Either there's a choice that'll be unlocked later, or there just straight fucking is only one choice, and that's the one choice that fucking matters. Yes, I just realized, lower that voice volume a little bit, because by God, she was loud all of a sudden, apparently.
ありがとうございます。
Still is.
またのご来店をお待ちしております。
Like, there should be overpowering my voice, if anything. Yeah, there we go. Probably that's probably gonna be enough.
ありがとうございます。
Yeah, it's
またのご来店をお待ちしております。
Not quite. What about now? Who knows? Anyways, thank you for coming. By the way, Matsuri.
何かな?
Mom said we should take a short break before the lunchtime rush, and Peaky Bloomers should be coming soon. Mermaid's doing well today, as always. That's not to say the inevitable lunchtime rush in 30 short minutes is going to get any easier. To tackle that problem, we take the common approach and simply call on additional staff, whom we affectionately refer to as the Peaky Bloomers. Depends on the day, but it should be Miyabi and Karin's turn today.
夏も終わりだというのに休憩とはね。
Getting philosophical again, huh?
いや、大したことじゃないよ。
Curious, care to elaborate?
本当にそんな大層なものじゃないんだ。
Our conversation keeps going as we retreat to the kitchen where we are sheltered from the eyes of customers.
今、私たちの間では空前の夏の終わりブームでね。
I have no idea what you're talking
こ
about.
の世のあらゆる事象すべてを夏の終わりに絡めるのが流行っているんだ。
Okay, still no idea whatsoever. After a few exchanges, I come to realize that it's not really something worth talking about.
あ、まつりちゃん休憩？夏が終わっちゃうから。
ほらあれ。
Mizuka.
致し方ありません。夏の終わりは待ってはくれませんもの。
Not you too, senpai.
何ですかその目は。あなた、私にだけやたら厳しくありません？
Apparently it's too late to contain the
ほ
spread.
ら、私たちの年頃で夏に何もなかったって年相応の自虐みたいなものだからね。本当に全く何もありませんでしたものね。
なかったですね。
全く。
Why are people staring at me like that? Almost all the staff who are supposed to deal with customers have gathered here to condemn me, thus leaving Shione to defend the service area alone. But even she herself is looking in my direction with disapproving eyes. It hurts, seriously. Nah, she's far more into this conversation than I thought. She's positioned herself just within earshot. Mermaid's management would like to express gratitude to the staff who have sacrificed a youthful summer for the sake of...
そういう意味じゃありませんけど、それにきっかけはともかく、ここで働いているのはみんな自分の意思だしね。
もう言わせないでよ。
Thank you kindly. The implication of her words, in addition to the visible embarrassment, should have moved me to tears if she hadn't put on such a smug face. And please don't forget that summer is far from over. Yes, we may have wasted a week or two into August, but the cup's still more than half full. That, and they've completely forgotten the fireworks festival, which just happened last night. Although I admit having to work the morning after such an event kind of dulled the memories. I'm gonna refrain from making any comments on the actual happenings, though. It's possible that they're only acting this way because of the post-firework depressions. Listen up, folks. Summer's not over. Don't give up so easily. Why are you making that face?
先輩、今抱いているその感情がきっと殺意です。
I'm just trying to be considerate.
たーくんはこの夏何かあった？
Huh? Memories. The events of last night flashed through my mind. Yeah, I suppose. Moon was right, but of course I wouldn't just hold her hand on impulse or as a desperate attempt at masculinity. What it pulled off was the result of all the determined courage I could muster. Perhaps it still feels like a dream because of the unbelievable softness of her hand as her fingers intertwined with mine. Karen's cheeks were as red as she looked up at me.
なんだか思いっきり心当たりありみたいな顔をされてません？
Perhaps it was a Midsummer Night's Dream.
あったんですか？
No, really. It really was just a dream-like experience. I can't possibly tell that I have a thing for a little sister, can I?
あ、夢ならこないだ私食べてもそうめんがなくならない夢見たよ。もうね、すっごいの。
それを悪夢と呼ばない前向きさは好感が持てるね。100ポイント。
それ何の点数？
I've just come to the realization that I'm surrounded by girls. I guess that's one of the reasons why what happened last night felt so unreal to me. Like, are you serious? Karin of all people? No, I'm not so great that I'm allowed to pick whomever I want. I don't think of Karin any less than the other girls. But you see, from the neutral standpoint, doesn't she feel like a comic relief character of sorts? I know if there's anyone to blame for this feeling, it has to be me, but Karin? Are you sure, talk to me? Are you certain you haven't lost it? You don't have to be so rude, man. There's no going back now. If anything goes back and forth in my head is only making others question the sincerity of my feelings towards her. There should be enough cause for a certain someone to decide to murder me.
本当に何もなかったのですか？
Certainly quite persistent today. Like I said, nothing at all. It's the only answer I can afford to give, executed with resounding firmness and
そ
resolution.
れなら私の目を見てお話ししましょうか。これは下世話ながらただの興味本位であって、あなたのことを気にしているわけではありませんから。その
Don't worry, I know enough to not make any silly assumptions. Why are you making that face? Never voiced that question, obviously. It's not worth risking my life over. But seriously, the only standout summer memory I've made so far is what happened last night with Karin. I've got to move the topic along somehow.
私には関係ありませんから別に構いませんけど。
Yep, sure isn't. You're only digging your grave deeper. You're scaring me, Senpai. If I can put an end to this right now, I have a feeling I'll make it out alive for a while longer. Despite how thrilling yesterday was, I have no intention of rushing things with Karin. I want to, sure, can't deny that, but I'm also capable of a little self-control. I have no regrets about last night, and I don't think I've misunderstood a thing. So why am I satisfied with keeping status quo? It's simple. I enjoy the relationship I have with Karin right now. The banter we have is so much fun. With that said, I still went across the line on the spur of the moment. Or rather, the fact that I'm spouting such convenient and one-sided assertions is enough proof that I'm masking my sheer excitement. I'm deeply ashamed. Like me, Karin has been nonchalant about the hand-holding ordeal.
夢？ て何のことじゃ？はっきり言わなかまろろこし。
In hindsight, I shouldn't have commented on the pronunciation because it utterly derailed the topic. But at least I could tell it didn't mean much to her, seeing how she never bothered to bring it up again. Still, another reaction from her seemed to suggest otherwise.
中僕、僕じゃ。
I was devastated by a certain realization. For her adorable bashfulness could charm me, the first thought that struck me was, is she okay in the head? The condition is no joking matter. I'm so very sorry, Karin. Also, thank you for helping me regain composure and spurring on my silly thoughts. Since I've run into some incredibly detailed simulations in the old mind palace, I'm confident that I can handle whatever Karin throws at me later. She'll make her appearance any time now, along with Miyabi. Then the service area will be in the hands of the Peaky Bloomers and Shione. And Mizuka. And Kaiden. And when Matsuri returns from a break, the team will consist of Mermaid's champions. Hey Matsuri, why are you still here?
夏も終わりだというのに
It's getting ridiculous. It's not, don't give up so easily. Go take your 15, pretty please.
たーくんの言う通りだよ。ここはみんなで力を合わせて休憩に行こう。
No, just Matsuri.
これは年長者としてのあれですが、やっぱりさっきの何もあったりしませんよね。
Please make haste, Peaky Bloomers! As soon as they arrive, they can force Matsuri to take a break and put an end to this misery.
おはようございます。
Oh! Perfect
って
timing.
あれ？みんな集まって何かしてたの？
Hey, Miyabi, thank God you're here. Oh, nothing, just talking to myself. And what are you waiting for, Matsuri? The master plan is going perfectly. Matsuri has no choice but to take a break
や
now.
れやれ。終わりだというのに夏が騒がしいね。
Thank you for sharing, but that's not exactly what I'm asking.
でも少しこの夏終わることに泣いています。
Fighter! My jaw just dropped at her unexpected participation in Matsuri's silly joke.
何？
On the other hand, Miyabi seems to be completely lost unbeknownst to their trend. Even Mizuka decides to chime
急
in.
ごうまつりちゃん。なんだか夏の終わりがマーメイドに良くないものを運んできちゃったみたい。
そうね、急いだ方がいい。夏が終わる前に。
You've caught up already? Isn't it a little too fast?
いやー、なんか流れでそうなのかなって。うん。久しぶりにいいチームワークだった。イエーイ。イエーイ。
High fives make for some good team building, but give some credit, Matsuri. What does she mean by a long while? We've been kicking ass together almost every day.
特に先輩がよく拾ってくださいました。あれは振りなのかなって思ったから。七里くん、その目をやめなさい。
I thought you were above the rest of them, senpai.
口に出せばいいってものではないんですからね。
Wonder why my spine always freezes up when she smiles like that. By the way, the girls were improvising a scene for a manga I don't recognize partway through. Now that I think about it, the other day, Mizuka was asking if she could lend it out. I was cool with it and all, but there's no way I could expect the manga to make its way through the whole gang. I wish they would use this whole teamwork on something more productive.
さてと、じゃあ休憩をいただくとしようか。
Just like that. I'm overcome with a sense of shame and emptiness, not because my scheme hadn't been actualized, but because I'd come up with it all at all. Just as mental fatigue sets in,
こんなところでガン首揃えて何しとるんじゃ。
Karin finally makes her appearance a tad later than Miyabi. I feel like she just stole a quick glance at me with a faint smile. Could have been my imagination.
どうした？みんな揃ってわわわの出迎えとは大義であるが。時間差？
一緒に行こうって誘ったら、バババ様先にお花を摘んでからって。
仕事前のウォーミングアップに花という花を漆黒の炎でネタヤシにしてくれたのだ。
Karin's composure is gone. The whole group can only watch her in silence.
なるほど。漆黒の炎ね。
貴様
You really should go easy on him, let's
まあ慎みは大切な心ですし。
姉御様、それでは何かを全肯定してしまっておるような。
Rise, I've set on mine. I'm 100% sure of it this time. One more thing I can be certain of is the vehement denial in her
まあ
eyes.
仕方ないって、夏も終わりなんだし。
そうだね。夏も終わっちゃうもんね。
You guys are seriously trying to pull Karin into all of that? Because I'm about to lose all hope in humanity.
何を言っておる。夏はまだ続いているぞ。
え
An unexpected development. Now let me be frank, she obliterated the mood as everyone had a lust for words. The story of moods continues.
夏は終わっておらぬ。諦めるな。前そんな。
そうなんだけどさ。というか、どこかで聞いたような。だって、どこかさん
You know what? It's time we got back to work. I know it's just pure coincidence, but these people aren't the kind to let it go easily. She's confused, I get it, but in this case, her ignorance is going to doom us both. I'm confident everyone's gotten the hang of the job here, but remember that inadequate preparation is a recipe for tragedy during the lunch rush. Okay. Can't find a better excuse than that. Don't go to your job and spare me from this misery, people.
本当だ、大変なことになってる。
Already? Damn it, I should pay more attention. But I'd notice right away at the door chime ever.
いらっしゃいませ。何名様でいらっしゃいますか。かしこまりました。ご案内いたします。こちらへどうぞ。
見た今の軽やかな体さばきのエア接客。
いやー、私もまだまだ通用するわ。
来るなら来いって。
やる気なのはよくわかるんですけど、お盆で素振りされるのは他のお客様の目もありますし、大変なことになってるね。
一刻も早くどなたか止めませんと。聞けば君のお母さんらしいね。
Yeah, and I sure am proud of it to be her son.
そんな死んだ表情して言わなくても。
I respect my mother. There's no doubt about that. I just wish she wouldn't be so quirky from time to time.
さて、じゃあ匠のためにも仕事に戻ろうか。
No, seriously, you need to take a break.
今ので十分息抜きになったよ。
It is truly unfortunate, but labor laws don't agree with you.
本人がいいと言っているのに。だったら何だったんだいこの時間は。
How should I know?
そうなのか。すまなかったね。じゃあ行ってくる。
Thank you for your understanding. After Monster has left, the girls return to the service area. Just as I'm about to follow them.
おい、
Are you talking to me?
他に誰がいる。
Stopped by
そ
Karin.
の、ゆうべのことだがな。
It's night. Mm-hmm. Doesn't take me long to realize what she's talking about. What's she doing?
まさか貴様、勘違いなどしていないだろうな。
What?
わわわを意識してしょうがないとか。
Karin seems to take the response to affirmation continues.
そうかそうか。戯れにと触れさせてやったわわわの手ごときでな。あんな大きな釣り針に引っかかるとは可愛い重木よ。ご褒美にドギマギしたか。
I guess that brief moment didn't mean much.
どうした。なんとか言わぬかこの恋愛の目。
It's not exactly the best time and place, but it takes some time to come up with a reaction style, but half a day is a tad too late. Understand? Thank you for telling me. Yes, it hurts, but the answer is clear enough that I've got no choice but to accept it. Well, I've got to do something about mom's antics.
なんじゃそれは。
I'm just being considerate.
ちょっとは意識せん。
Karin turns away in a fury, about to leave for the service area. Just what do you want me to? Wait!
なんじゃ。
You have to wash your hands before entering the service area.
わかっておる。
七里くん、
And senpai,
そういえばカリンに何か言われませんでした？
why do you ask?
あの子、昨日の夜からずっと何か工場のようなものを練習していたみたいで、また七里くんにご迷惑をおかけするのではないかと。
So after all said and done, she cared enough to practice turning me
さ
down.
て、今日も頑張っていきましょうか。まだまだ夏なんですものね。
I know about that. I was sold on already, and after that, summer's pretty much over. At that point, there won't be many customers coming to Mermaid anymore.
あなた、何か私に恨みでもあるんですか？
But how? Why? A jest by the Lord of Night. Oh boy. This year's Obon happens to fall on a weekend. Man, have something to do with what's happening in my living room, dark and humid from the brutal rain
ゴ
outside.
ロゴロ。グダグダ。
A horrible scene to behold.
あ、ター君あくび。
Yes, I'm not in a position to criticize anyone. Such is the terrifying nature of boredom. The Bon Festival is set to celebrate a whole new stage of summer. Well, that may be true. The incessant rain has proven detrimental to our business, so everyone simply decided to call it a day and gather here to kill time. Monikata seems to be making good use of the occasion by studying.
あら、先輩も私たちを見捨てて何も言ってくれない。
いえ、決してそういうわけでは。強制するのも違いますし、やる人は言われなくてもやってるでしょうから。
Somehow I feel like it'd make me feel better if you just made me study.
たくみ、部屋からなんか漫画でも持ってきて。
じゃあ私行ってこようか。
Don't you people feel anything from Kai's advice at all? But I simply like their mental fortitude. They sold their souls to the devil.
わわわ様も珍しく静かだね。
今日は雨だから大変じゃろうな。
Karin sounds like she's only talking to herself. Since she's finally descended from the clouds.
わあ、だって太もも思いにふけることもあるわ。
へえ、興味があるね。どんな？
貴様に話してわかるものか。
聞くだけ聞かせてほしいな。
わわわの深淵にして圧倒的な思考の本流に触れたいとは、人間の矮小な器では耐えきれず、気が触れても。
そういうのはカットして本題からで。
最後まで言わせてくれてもよいではないか。
She looks as though she's about to cry for a moment, but eventually gives up and continues.
わわわはな、見通しておったのだ。数十万の命の行方を。
数十万。
どういうこと？今日はな、数十万にも及ぶおびただしい数のわわわとは直接の関わりを持たぬ眷属たちが魂の救済を求めてうごめいておるのよ。
I can't beat the familiars that don't have related to you.
何か訳ありということなんでしょうか。
本人の語彙の問題じゃない？自分で言ってる意味分かってないのよ、きっと。
というか、誰も内容の方を把握しようとしてないよね。
Oh, to be fair, she said at the beginning that we wouldn't understand. A bit concerned though. God, it looks like she wants to tell us.
いや、さすがはわわわ様。私ごときでは全く理解できませんでした。
分かればよいのだ。
ところで、わわわ様はコミケには行かれないんですか？
Kind of suddenly crumbles. That must have been a critical hit.
貴様、まさかわわわが何を考えていたか知っていたのか。
はい？何の話でしょう？
That acting is gonna win her an Oscar or two. They're probably already guessed everything from the
あ、
start.
じゃめ。
どうなんでしょう。確か今週末に開催されているはずでしたよね。
それは、まあ確かに興味がないでもないが、まだわわわはそういう。知らぬ。
あ、自分を取り戻した。
なんだそのコミケとやらは、異界の魔王の中、ワールドゲートのポイント名か。
Her unusual approach to playing dumb deserves some credit.
でもさ、コミケくらい知ってるよね。
大噂は金がね。私はよくわからないんですけど、聞いたことくらいは。
It's the news every single year as
ちょ
well.
っと深夜アニメとか見たことあったら知ってるんじゃない？別に秘密結社じゃないんだし。
雑誌とかでもよく見たりするよね。
No, it's hitting it pretty hard.
きっと複雑な心境なんでしょうね。
先輩、
自分だけが知っていると思っていた知られたくない部分を丸裸にされてしまったような、かといって知識量に差がありすぎて戸惑っているような。
Now, what makes you think I'm so specific?
まあこれでも一応姉ですから。
ああ、姉妹ってすごいんですね。
Still not entirely convinced, though.
けど知られたくない部分ってあんなに堂々とわわわ様なのに。
言わんとしていることはわかりますけど、もう少しオブラートに。でもそういえばかりんちゃんの口からあんまり漫画とかアニメの話って聞いたことないかも。
ハードディスクレコーダーを見ると一通りチェックはしているみたいですけど。そりゃそうでしょう。ああいうキャラって多かれ少なかれ大体元ネタがあるはずだもの。
そうなんですか？
そこまではちょっと私も。
こらそこ！何をこそこそ喋っておるか！
Man, looks like she lost her patience with
よ
us.
かったらわわわ様、一緒にコミケに行ってみようか。
なんじゃと？
私も興味はありますし。
That's news to me.
興味だけなら私もあるわよ。私は別に興味ありませんけど。
私も人の多いところはちょっと。でも皆さんが行かれるというのでしたら。
Now you're making a lovely sacrifice and all that, but don't assume you'll survive the place with half-baked determination.
ちょっと自信なくなってきました。
今回の日程はそうか、残念だ。今日が最終日なんだね。
I saw that. Before going any further, did I really just see Lucia whisper that information in your ear and vanish faster and you could look it up on your phone?
ルチアさん、いるならお茶入れますね。
どこに渡せばいいのかわかんないけど。
No one seems to take my question seriously.
じゃあ冬、年末はどうかな。
それはわわわもそのコミケとやらが気にならないでもないが。
姉としてはいろいろ心配ですけど。
Why do you manage to pick up Kaida's soliloquy because I'm standing next to her?
勘違いするな。わあ、二次創作に興味があるわけではない。
Gotta act mature here and not point out how she's basically forgetting her own lore.
わわわの触手が伸びそうなのは企業ブースだけだ。
同人ではなく商業作品の限定グッズというわけかな。
I was referring to the source of inspiration that Mia was talking
だから
about.
別にコミケでなくて構わぬし、本当に気が向いたらというくらいじゃぞ。
構わないですよ。
だとしても魔女、貴様とはいか
どうして？
ぬ。どうも貴様はわわわを小馬鹿にしておる風潮がある。
What kind of vibes is that?
心外な。私はわわわ様のことをこんなに可愛く思っているのに。
異形の念がない。
とりあえず異形の意味を教えていただけますか？
そういうところが小馬鹿にしておるというのじゃ。
Well, calm down. Decided to butt in after sensing
遅い
hostility.
わ重木。
What, you were waiting for me to butt in?
いいからあの魔女めをギャフンと言わせてやれ。
ここで安易にギャフンと言わない私を褒めていいよ。
You people really need to take a course on anger management.
そうよわわわ様。匠はこう言ってるの。口では嫌だ嫌だと言いながら体は一緒にコミケに行きたいって言ってるぜ。
You listen to single what I said, and only old people use that meme now.
それ一番傷つく。
重木、誰がそのものをギャフンと言わせようと命令した。
言ってやってわわわ様。
まあそのものも結構失礼なので好都合だが。
匠、私人間関係に自信持てなくなってきた。
Worry not, my friend. Everyone deserves to live, even if they're a perverted old man at heart.
傷口に塗り込まれる塩の量が尋常じゃないんですけど。
Anyway, let's forget about Miyabi for now.
匠、今から崩れ落ちるから抱き留めて。
I'll leave that jab to the floor.
ああ。
You can hear the sound of some tumbling to the ground somewhere. Alrighty! I think we've wasted enough time shooting the breeze.
なぜなら今から会場に向かうからだね。
話している暇なんてないと。 そういう匠さんの決断力、さすがです。
I just want to keep the peace, but if everyone agrees on it, I guess we can do that today.
やめておけ。雨の最終日に昼過ぎから会場に向かって何をする気じゃ。
Are you sure?
そういうものじゃ。
You look strangely confident for some
自
reason.
分も経験ないくせに聞きかじりの知識だけで。わわわ様、耳戸島みたいでなんだかやらしいね。
なんでじゃ。
まあこの話はここまでとしても、残念ながら少ししこりが残ったね。
Why is
ど
that?
うもわわわ様が私の行為を素直に受け取ってくれていない。どうすればいいのか。
おい、こやつ真顔で言っておるぞ重木。
Probably because you're serious. Kinda hard to tell though.
あれで理解しろとか、そんなの暴力じゃろ。
そうだ、
What's this face?
わわわ様の向上を考えてみよう。
なんじゃ工場と。
わわわ様って何でしたっけ。
何。
自己紹介。
わわわは闇の眷属、世界のうつろなるうろ、9つの夜の王、スイカ、ミストスレイブイグドラシルだ。
Oh.
なんじゃ重木。
I had a feeling I heard you say something like that a long time ago.
重木たる貴様が主人の名を覚えていなかったのか。
Of course not. Just thought it'd be more appropriate to use your code name, Karin.
それでも寛容に返事してやっとるだけじゃ。
Totally slipped my mind. It appears that I'm not the only one.
はあ、
目から鱗だわ。
聞き捨てならぬ反応ばかりじゃぞ。
総じてキャラが薄いんだよ。
キャラとか言うな。魔女、貴様ワワワのことが好きだと言ったよな。
決め台詞とか口癖でもいいんだけどね。わわわ様といえばみたいのがあるとよくないかな。
ギラッ。
But you sound like a hawk that just spotted its prey.
ちょっと前に流行ったアニメのヒロインの口癖だよ。あ、私も多分その CD 持ってます。歌大好きです。
Even now I know that one. But the way Miyabi seemed it, said it seemed weird.
何かに代わってお仕置きとか、まあそういうのだね。
いらんいらん、余計なお世話じゃ。
先輩、この付箋いただいてもいいですか。
Let's do this hand sticky notes to everyone in the group.
じゃあみんなこれに無記名で書いていくとしよう。優秀作品はわわわ様が採用してくれるよ。
勝手に決めるな。
まあわわわ様、みんな好意でやってくれてることですし。
そういう言い方はずるいであろう。いいの思いつかないな。私もこういうのは苦手で。
面白ければいいんじゃない？私たちが言うわけじゃないし。
本当に恋なんだろうな。
Members start writing down their brilliant ideas. Don't you think that the grape title already has enough impact? Scanned the room looking for an argument for agreement. Unfortunately, no one seems to share my earnest sentiment. A few moments later, the sticky notes are gathered one after another.
本当に言わねばならんのか。
こういうのは真面目に言わないと感じが出ないからね。全力でよろしく頼むよ。
注目。
So argument at me like a puppy begging for rescue. Well, can't find any good reason to go against Matsui's idea. Her methodology is proven, even if it entirely belongs to the show business.
今回だけだからな。
Karin seems to have given up as she reaches her hand to the nose.
卵は完全食。わわわはスイカ、ミストスレイブイグドラシルだ。だからわわわは嫌だと言ったのだ。
Karin's lost it, understandably.
いやいや、わわわ様、まだ判断するには早いよ。後の世で評価されるかもしれない。
とりあえず今のこの重い空気をどうにかせ。
セリフの前半と後半の間に超展開があったわよね。
なんかちょっとためになることにしようかなって。
So was yours. Of course, only Shion and Mitsuko come up with something like that.
もうやらぬからな。
Now, now.
注目。
Kinda like it, don't you? This silly part of the game. What's
注
wrong?
目の趣味は全く理解できん。
Despite the visible anger Karin returned, it still returns to the pile of sticky notes.
あと少し付き合ってやるだけじゃからな。
じゃあ次、これはどうだろう。
テーブルのクリーンリネスは円ではなく四角く、ちゃんと角まで拭く。これ書いたの姉御様じゃろ。いつも注意されとる説教じゃ。
ちゃんとできるようになるまで反復して覚えるのがいいかしらと。
次じゃ。神、吸血鬼、竜、疑似生命体、みんな友達。わわわがスイカ、
虎の意を借りる感じでよくない？
I'm not sure if bowering's the right word there.
はい次これ。
ヘルシュレモンになりたいの。スイカ、ミストスレイブイグドダシルだ。
ヘルッシュって何？
可愛いままだとダメかと思ったんですけど。
Mine's pretty similar.
ヘル、スイカ、ミストスレイブイグドダシルだ。
Talking about the game I played.
おい、もうわわわは切れてもいいのだな。
わわわ様、まだ私のが残ってる。
いいだろう。毒を食らわば皿までじゃ。
I've ever seen this kind of beast in nest.
やっぱり貴様、わわわをバカにしとるじゃろ。
He throws it away and breaks out in anger. This,
わわわは闇の眷属。世界のうつろなるうろ。
same as the same as the original.
その下にカッコして全部ドイツ語かサンスクリット語でって書いてあります。
I'm glad you didn't try.
いつの間にか雨が上がってるみたいですね。そろそろ夕食時だし、おいとましようか。
おい注目。しー、寝ちゃってますね。
どんな規制で起こそっか。
寝かせてあげてくださいよ。
しかしこれは
ねえ、寝顔かわいいですよね。ちっちゃい頃から変わんないな。
写メはダメですよ先輩。
してません。いやー、それくらい別にいいんじゃない？
ダメです。だったら私だって？いえ、くだらぬ。
あ、私の付箋、ペンも
キュッキュッと書いてペタッと。重木にはこのくらいが似合っておる。ター君のおでこに貼っちゃった。
お札にしては小さいけどキョンシーを彷彿とさせるね。
その例え通じる？
I actually do.
書いてある言葉も女殺し油の地獄ですけど。
たくみさん、起きちゃいませんか？
ああ、それいい。黒ひげみたい。はい。匠に対する不平不満を一言ずつ添えた付箋をみんなで順番に貼っていくの。起こした人の負け。
いいね、やってみよう。
不平不満がないんですけど。
一人だけいい子になろうなんてそうは問屋が下ろさないよ。
別にそんなつもりでは。じゃあ私から。
いえ、幼なじみって関係性を書かれましても、二人だけの思い出とかマルフィエピソードなんかはないのかな。
パンツ早く返してとかね。
そんな思い出ないよ。じゃあまた一緒にお風呂に入ろうねと。
またっていつの時代の話をしてんのよ。
子供の頃のエピソードですか？でも誰からのメッセージか分かりやすいのはいいですよね。いやいや、これはこういう愛の告白なのかも。
そんなことはないんですけど。
最初からぶっこんでいってもしょうがないもんね。盛り上がりを考えたらまずはこういう頭ゆるい系でね。
頭ゆるい系。
じゃあ次私。
シーク。水香ちゃんすっごい落ち込んじゃってるんですけど。
まあネタがいまいちだったもんね。
そんなつもりじゃなかったのに。
気を取り直して私はっと。あの夜が忘れられないの。
嘘はよくないね。
ください。一斉に。いやでもわかんないじゃない。例えばほら、こないだの花火大会の時、匠ってば花火に夢中になってるみんなに隠れて、あれかわおば様、
あるか、あってたまるか、そんなこと。
そこまで怒る。
重木はそんなことはせんこともないと思うが。
はっきりしないし。
そのこやつはそういうことは本当に好きな人としかやらないと。
私アンに匠の眼中ないってディスられてない？
おそらく事実かと。
ひどい。
私わかります。匠さんはそういう人だと思います。
確かに悪気がなくて誤解を招くことは多いですけど、そういう部分は決して軽くない人ですね。
そうじゃろ、そうじゃろ、そうじゃろこやつめ。つついたら匠さん起きちゃいますから。
なんでわわわ様突然上機嫌になってるの？そううつ？
心配になるようなことをおっしゃらないでください。
でもターくんがそこまでやっちゃうなら、もうきっとその子と付き合っちゃってると思うよ。いやまだそこまでは。
何の話だい？
いきなり魔界からの毒電波にジャミングされたわ。己魔族め。
I would imagine Antonia.
何を言ってるんだか。
もしくはお互いかなりいい空気になってて告白寸前とか。わかるぞ。
でも匠の場合一番ありがちなのはただの誤解じゃない？
それはもうすごく確かに。
先輩が必要以上にうなずいておられる。転んで相手を押し倒しちゃったとか、体勢崩して手を握っちゃったとか、すっごくありそう。
通じるものは感じますね。
そういえば私も身に覚えが。そんな、まさか。幼なじみ、なんとか言ってやってくれ。納得してどうする。しかし確かにわわわが勘違いするなと言った時も気のない返事だった。
わわわ様、さっきからなんかおかしくない？
まあ言いたいことがあるならこの付箋に書きなよ。
そこのところどうなのだって聞かれても。よい、わわわちょっと風に当たりたい。ふらふらとエアコンの下に行っちゃいましたけど。
わわわ様、本当にそううつなんじゃ。
短い時間に繰り返し不安にさせないでください。
じゃあ次、しおねちゃん。あの夜助けていただいたこと忘れません。だって恥ずかしいから声に出さないで。
匠としおねさん、二人の間に何がって感じだね。
それは大切な思い出ですから。
っていうか、私のとそんなに違わなくない？
だけどなんていうか彼女のは卑猥じゃない。
納得いかない。
Hers is not suffused with filth.
私もかけました。
あの日のことはお互い胸に秘めておきましょう。
いえ、全然大したことはなかったんですけどね。
だったら書かなきゃいいのに。
しかもなぜか自慢げだね。さて先輩が貼ったら次は私の番かな。
あら、具体的なエピソードは聞かなくていいんですか？
慎んでご遠慮させていただきます。
私は気になるんですけど。
ってちょっと、なんだかんだで匠を一番好きなのは私だよ。
みんな好き勝手書いてるから私もアピールしておこうと思ってさ。
さっき私に一人だけいい子になろうなんて、そうは問屋が下ろさないって。
今となっては不利だよね。
そんな。だったら私もう一枚書きます。順番的には私だよね。
私に回して。なんかやる気出てきた。
私もまだまだ書き足りません。
夜の王たるわわわがへこまなければならんのだ。
わわわ様、
付箋とペンを貸せ。このだらしない重木の少年はわわわの術式で叩き直してくれる。術式。次。
書いて七里くんに貼ってるだけってやってることは変わりませんけど。でも女たらしってただの個人的な悪口になってるような。
次じゃ。
聞こえてませんね。一応付箋とペンならまだまだありますけど。
ター君を起こした人が負けってルールは残ってるんですか？
なんか匠の顔から肩からすごい勢いで付箋に埋もれていってるんだけど。
とか言って君も参戦するんだよね。
まつりちゃんもね。
なんていうか私こういう妖怪を知ってるよ。
あら、さすがにもうみんな帰ったんだ。はあ、今日はなんか暇すぎて逆に疲れた。
ってなんでうちのソファーにケウケゲンが寝てるの？
Her monster where?
あんただ。
Me? There aren't as many people around as before. Start of a new week and I have no shifts at Mermaid today. So now I'm killing time by aimlessly wandering around town. Even though streets are still crowded with tourists, if past trends apply, the crowds should die down from today on. The high point of the season is long gone, that's for sure. Yesterday's rain seems to have accelerated the downturn even further. Bike gangs are still loitering around though. The sheer number of those folks rampaging at night must be a good indication of how enjoyable these streets are for riding. What fucking Enoshima can come up next? Well, none of my business. Guess I could do some fishing. But I was considering hanging out with someone today. I had a friend I want to hang out with made a fool of me yesterday. That's exactly why I have every right to demand compensation. I don't blame Shuna at all, though. She would never be capable of leading such a horrendous act. However, because my timid housemate seemed dissatisfied with my leniency, I had to execute a forehead flick as punishment. She was smiling as she took it for some reason. It's good that we're on even grounds now. The knowledge that this event is going to appear on a sticky note in the future does leave behind a certain melancholy. Now I've worked up an urge to grumble to someone, preferably one who is directly responsible for the pain that I've been through. Karin the Mouthy would be the best possible candidate, with the other members being secondary. My preferences aside, it's not like she'd just magically show. Oh, senpai. Oh, it's a small world. It's obvious who provided sticky notes from yesterday. Only Kaiden needs them to study. Fires of revenge start to flare inside me. I take a deep breath and brazenly. Good morning, senpai. Lower my head casually.
おはようございます。それでカリンを見ませんでしたか？
Oblivious to my internal conflict, she raises an odd question. Karin? No, I haven't seen her.
そうですか。やっぱりあの子、昨日の夜の。
You tell something isn't right with the concerned look on her face. She shouldn't be here in the first place. On days without work at the restaurant, she still has her job as a shrine maiden, and barring that, the endless grind to prepare for her exams. Her being here means she put aside everything to look for Karin. Previous thought pops into my head. It's not exactly safe to be around this area at night. And tell me, did Karin not come home last night? Knowing her, it's entirely possible she talked back to a gang.
せめて電話がつながれば。
Please tell me what happened to Karin.
どうしましょう、七里くん。
She's begging for my help with it newly
あの子、不良になってしまうかも。
Wait. They are bored of monotony. So there's the place. Is there reference to something I know? I mean, those at least look like fucking vaguely like Tohart uniforms, but they are just sailor uniforms essentially. So this place, Carter told me about the location where delinquents supposedly frequent. Melon books. You might have heard that name before, probably from some manga or ad on the internet. According to Carter, there's a good chance that Karin's here. I just step aside and look around. Shooting around the anime merchandise or books corner and all the Blu-ray aisles. It means Carter's worst fear is... No. One single glance at Dojinshi aisle is enough to overwhelm me. My place looks like a koi pond at feeding time. This comic cat just ended. I was told that it could get pretty crowded here. But to this extent, that his worst fear is that Karin would somehow get lost in here. Karin did say something about having no interest in amateur works, but according to Senpai, it's only because she hasn't found the right stuff. Those materials somehow found their way in Karin's naive, easily influenced mind. Maybe she'll become even more cringe. She may rot and fall into a whole other sinister side of pop culture, said her concerned sister. Still don't quite understand what she meant, though. Your face swiftly mounts up the crowd while carrying a massive pile of Dojinshi. And you say it's been all summer hitting on girls. Well, let's pretend I don't see anything. So there's a chance Karin would come like Ikaruga. I've really got to find and pull her back before it's too late. She's not here either. Searched along the route to the station but couldn't find her anywhere. Sort of a disappointment, I tried to take a rest at a small public area. Perhaps Kai's concern was unfounded and was just a misunderstanding. I started to think Karin was never here in the first place. Hi, Karin. No, I'm just betting on chance, but it does feel rather odd not seeing her at all after going back and forth from and to the station this many times. Glance at my phone, still nothing from Senpai. Suddenly occurs to me, why didn't I just call her? Really slipped my mind. Yeah, I held back because Kai said she hasn't picked up she wasn't picking up the phone, but I think my conscious desire to find her myself is mostly to blame. Anyway, I call her up. Then it rings out. I don't think ringtones are supposed to be a surround sound. An overly familiar face swiftly mounts into the crowd, ringing phone in hand. You're not getting away! I have no intention of letting her go so easily. Tightly grasp her wrist. It's been coincidence after coincidence, but this certainly isn't one of them. Since when? When did you start following me? Looks like she's gonna fess up easily. Let's change the approach. Gee, you were testing me, weren't you? Wanted to check if your servants could see if you're still freezing.
貴様、わわわがそんな誘導に引っかかるアホだと思うてか。
To tell the truth, I noticed you telling me a whole hour ago.
嘘をつくな。わわわが重箱を見つけたのはほんのついさっきだぞ。
Thanks for the quick and predictable confession.
ずるいぞ。真意に気づいても気づかなくてもガード不可ではないか。
So where have you been all this time?
どこというか、ちっと現実使いにはめられたらしくてな。
Huh?
道に迷ってた。
Yeah, you did mention you couldn't get past ticket gates or right escalators the other day.
呆れたような顔で見るな。奴らは強敵じゃぞ。絶対歯とか生えとる。
No, they don't. I wish you'd tell me that you'd be going to Nekohama. As possible as it sounds, both of us could have been spared from all the trouble we went through yet today. Stop by a vending machine and buy a bottle of sports drink. Here.
わわにか？
I've been walking under the sun for hours. Dehydration is no laughing
貴
matter.
様はまた。
Ryan went sticky note incident yesterday. Should give her a piece of my mind before I
今
forget
日
again.
は誰とここに来たのじゃ？
What? It was just so completely unexpected. My brain stops working for a moment. What'd you say?
いや、勘違いするなよ。わわは全然気にしてないのだがな。
She raised her eyes.
幼
Some
馴染か？同居している娘か？あのやかましいのか？まさか魔女か？どこにおるのだ？それともこれから待ち合わせか？だったら別にわわには構わなくてもいいからな。
Her expression grows dark as she speaks. Then it hits me. She had no way of knowing why I'm here. Kaida couldn't contact her. I came here to find you.
もうそういうのは良い。わわわがここにいることなど貴様知らなかったろうが。
Why would I do that? Despite her harsh accusation, her face brightened upon hearing my answer. Nonetheless, judging from the things she wrote on the notes yesterday and now this, Colin seems to harbor a serious misunderstanding. Need to purge it before. Huh?
なんじゃ
If you didn't know what I'm here for, then why were you hiding and following me around? If you'd known, it'd be easy to explain her actions, to avoid being caught by me and forced to go home. But Karin was thinking I was here to see a girl and still decided to tell me around it could only mean one thing. I get it now, you were lost, so you were hoping to find the exit by following me around, huh? But you didn't want to interfere with my business, so you kept quiet and waited for a chance to approach me.
それじゃあわわほどにな
Shush, that means you're the stalker, not me.
嘘とか言うな
That's how I treat stalkers. And it's exemplary. Just so you know, I've seriously been looking all over for you.
そっちこそ嘘じゃん
No good deed goes unpunished indeed. Why don't you just come with me to see if I'm telling the truth or not?
じゃあ本当にわわわを探していたのか
Nothing but the truth. I was thrilled when I saw
わ
you.
わわにか
Yeah, you.
信じるぞ
Please do.
わわわのためにだな
Don't make me repeat myself.
そうかそうか
She mumbles with a wholehearted content expression.
まったく仕方のない重木だな貴様わわわのこと好きすぎるだろ
What's gotten into you?
なんじゃ頭でもかいぐってやろうか
No thanks. Isn't your mood getting a bit too high now?
しかしよくわわわがここに来ると分かったなわわわのことを気にかけすぎだぞ過保護なやつめ
I don't have enough skill to
あるじゃろ
enough skill to control such a great power. He's acting so perfectly matter of factly. I'm having a hard time denying
そう
it.
かわわわの重木だからな心配せずともいずれ使えるようになるじゃろ
I don't know those best things.
ではなぜわわわが猫浜に来ていると
Pause, not knowing how to answer without causing another misunderstanding. But lying now would just make things worse. Your sister told me.
まあそうだろうな姉御様は最初の電話でもなぜかわわわの行く先に気づいていたようだったし
Apparently, someone left directions to melon books in Nekohama open on your family's PC last night.
テンション上がって閉じ忘れていたか
Pumped that out of hat, but we roll with it. Anyway, can't you at least answer your sister's calls? She was really bummed after she blocked her.
姉御様には申し訳ないが精神修行のつもりだったのでな
Spiritual training.
昨日ちょっといろいろあったのでな
Are you calling that atrocity you did to me a little incident? I was turned into a monster, and Mom managed to make it worse by taking photos.
一人で強く生きていかねばと考えた時魔女めにコミケやその手の店に行ったことがないことをバカにされたのを思い出したのじゃ
I don't think Matsuri was necessarily making fun of you, though. So you decided to embark on spiritual training because of some that trivial. I'm glad you brought it up now, now's my chance. Gotta show her the price for damaging my
し
dignity.
かし姉御様には悪いことをしてしまったかもしれぬな
I couldn't agree more. Damn, her remark was so spun I couldn't help nodding to it. Now I have to wait for another
いや
chance.
そうではなくて今日は一日受験勉強をするとおっしゃってたのでな貴様がわわわを探してでも突然家に現れたらさぞ姉御様の勉強の邪魔となっただろう
Make it sound like I'm an animal or something.
重木貴様姉御様に余計なことを喋らなかったろうな
I'm not sure, but there are so many ways to interpret unnecessary when it comes to her. Could be something she wants her sister to know, but doesn't want to say out loud, or something she wants to keep completely hidden. Telling you underestimate your sister's love for you.
どういうことじゃ
She gave up studying just to go look for you.
何
Her eyes widen in surprise.
嬉しいがわわわはそんなに信用されていないのか
I think she knew you would like it, but was simply too worried to not do anything.
姉御様に連絡を入れておくか
And please tell her that I've completed my mission. Karen's eyes become lifeless for an instant. What's wrong?
注木は 御様に頼まれたからわわわを探しに来たのか？
No, that's not. Karin backs away from me before I could finish my excuse. Where are you going? Speeds up instead of answering me. That wasn't the only reason, I only meant it figuratively!
よい、気にするな。わわわはそういうの比較的慣れっこじゃし。
And please don't act like you're about to cry.
注目。貴様ちょっとコロッケパンと炭の絵サイダー買ってこい。
But they only sell that drink in Suminoe! Just tell me if you're angry, Karin. If you're thinking of sending me away, aren't you?
怒ってなんかいません。わけのわからないことで絡んでこないでください、七里先輩。
Gonna make me cry, you know.
少し一人に。
Out of reflex, I turned to where she's pointing. However, she tricked me. Way too old to have fallen for that trick. Took me a few moments to redirect my attention, but I still managed to catch sight of Karin entering the ladies' room. Apparently she doesn't trust herself to be quick enough to simply outrun me. Now I can't chase after her, but at the same time she can't escape anymore. Both of us are stuck here. Maybe she has a plan or something, but I doubt it. At least there's a modern solution to our problem. It works if she hasn't blocked me, though. Whip out my phone.
注目。
Hey, do you hear me?
貴様、打ってる最中のメールが着信で書き消される切なさを知らぬのか？
Please don't think you've settled everything just by sending a text that applies to both me and your sister. Oh, wait, that may be inappropriate depending on the location. It isn't proper etiquette to talk in a public restroom.
大丈夫じゃ。今のところ、わわわの他には誰もおらん。
Oh, that works. Excellent, I have 10 times more options this way. In the worst case scenario, I could just force my way in there. Nah, it's going a bit too far. Gave out a long, exasperated sigh. Want to talk face to face? Is there a reason you're against it?
これが今のわわわと重木の精神的な距離にして壁。わわわが作った貴様には絶対立ち入れられぬ結界よ。
That barrier of yours is just a sign that says ladies' restroom.
わわわに少し悩む時間を与えよ。らしくないが。何？案外大事なものが簡単に散りあくたと化すかもしれぬぞ。
Wasteful observation is coolly thrown into a cringe fest and ignored. Damn, maybe I should really force my way in there. Breaking barriers, even physically, to reach a girl may be, well, romanticized in fictional works, but in real life it's purely criminal. Are you sure you're calm enough to think about it rationally?
わわわにはいざとなったらヒャフー知恵袋というものが。
Please don't ask randos on the internet.
さすがに冗談じゃ。注目。貴様、今思いっきり疑わしそうな目をしとるじゃろ。
I should know.
ではな、切るぞ。
Wait! You still need all the information to be able to think properly.
どういう意味だ？
Can I ask you something first?
なんじゃ？
Yesterday you kept calling me a womanizer in the sticky notes. What were you trying to imply?
どういうつもりだと？そんなものわわわにもわかるか？
Yeah, geez, she just snapped. Well, fine with me. Didn't expect her to give me a clear answer in the first place. It's just that I've been thinking I should give you a piece of my mind ever since.
なんじゃ？怒ったのか？
Listen, taking a deep breath. I love you, Karin, in a romantic way. I'm satisfied with just being able to talk with you like always, but it hurts to see you hate me just because of some misunderstanding. That's why I want to make it clear to you. I'm not being fair, aren't I? I want you to be my girlfriend, but only if it's okay with you. I'm ready to hear your reply now.
あれ？
Feel free to think about it as long as you want. See you. Hang up on the phone. Another idiom, no time to breathe, could be used in a literal sense. Isn't that a little too fast?
いや、待って、そんなはずは、あれ？
Shouldn't you gather yourself before calling back? She's in the exact same state.
な、重木。
Yeah?
わわわの携帯って、録音機能はどうやるのじゃ？
That depends on the phone, but I won't say it again anyway.
なぜじゃ？
Don't you think it's distasteful to record someone else's declaration of love? I feel sick just thinking about it.
こんなところで、そんな大事なことを言う方もどうなんじゃ？
Well, you're the only one in there, but anyway, it's your own problem.
もはや二人の問題じゃろ。
Jeez, excuse when I put you that way. Yeah, our problem. Say, if you can't make up your mind, why don't you come out and talk? I want to see it.
貴様、そういうことを
please.
待って、5分待つのじゃ。
Because you can't trust me that easily.
違う。そんな、さっきから顔が緩みっぱなしで。
It takes another 30 minutes for Karin to come out of the restroom.
まだ付き合ってやると決めたわけじゃないからな。勘違いして手とか繋いでくるなよ。
So, you wanna hold hands?
どういう解釈しとるのじゃ。
Gotcha suits me well. Holding hands, hand holding is a yucky display of affection anyway.
嫌とはなんだ。もう付き合ってやらぬぞ。
It's up to you, but I would prefer you don't make up conditions like that in our relationship.
すまぬ。
Do we wanna hold hands? So,
繋がぬも。
don't wanna, huh? Oh, she's all sulky now. Karin has finally come out of her comfort zone, the restaurant. We decided to make a trip to our original destination. I've been here several times today already, but it's your first time, right?
夢に見たこともある。
Not badly. You don't look all that enthusiastic to me, though.
誰のせいじゃ。
Pleasing me with the zen.
そもそもあんな場所であんな話をするか普通。
Okay, that was my fault. Judging from the number of times she's mentioned it, I guess that was quite a serious matter to her. Somewhat feels like being scolded by your wife for something you did ages ago when the two of you just started dating. Just for future reference, how would your ideal love confession go? It's never too late to learn about your significant other's idea of a healthy, mutually supportive relationship.
そうじゃな。月明かりの下。気だるげに投げ出した白いわわわの素足の甲にひざまずいた重木が永遠を誓いながら口。
What do you want to see first? The CD section?
わわわの話を聞け。
Kind of bugs me without taking her eyes off the light novel's shelves. Her answer was neither healthy nor mutually supportive, but I guess that's Karin's way.
いつも口を酸っぱくして言っておるが、重木には主人に対する敬意がまるで足りておらん。もし仮に万が一付き合うことになっても、わわわたちの場合は主従関係ありきじゃからな。付き合おうとも付き合わずとも関白宣言じゃ。
I can tell what your desires are at a glance. There's no need to save face just because you have feelings for someone. Karin starts touching her all over the face.
しとるんではないか。
Also, try to keep the loot demands in moderation.
だからわわわの話を聞けと。
Look, new light novels must.
貴様さてはとりあえずそう呼んでおけばわわわを騙し倒せると思っとるな。
Oops, she's surprisingly sharp today. Gotta play it cool. Sound a lofty pile of books.
20日発売のはずの新刊がうず高く積まれておる。これがメインブックス。来てよかった。
I don't think it's anything to do with the store's power, probably just a matter of logistics and schedules of publishers. Just my opinion, but the real power lies in how many points they give for each purchase.
よいよい、置いてあることに変わりはない。
Seems to be in quite a good mood, huh? Karin picks out a book from a spiral staircase stack and gazes happily at the illustrations on the cover. Gonna buy it?
お小遣いが残り少ないので、この好きなシリーズの新刊だけじゃがな。
It shows a popular rom-com featuring action-packed battles. You might have heard of it before. The ad strip has anime's second season in production on it. You've seen the commercials on it before on TV or something. You just get your paycheck for last month's shifts.
あんな大金貯金したになかった。あの程度のはした金、一夜にして食らい尽くしてくれたわ。
Spend all of it on food?
常闇の王は酔い越しの金は持たぬのよ。
Because even Dark Lords can go broke, huh? John Lance turns the book to its last page. You're one of those, huh? Afterward first tab reader?
一応念のため初版かどうか確認しておるだけじゃ。
Pretty particular, aren't we?
本当に好きなシリーズだけな。
Turns out to be the first edition, just as she hoped. She nods contentedly, then returns the book to its original position at the top of the pile. She turns to normal bookshelves, which carry the same books, but in a shorter pile, then proceeds to pull out the third one from the top.
わわわたちの日常もアニメ化せんかな。
The way she's whispering, it's like she's developing necromancy over over this other ad strip.
ヒカナ今わわわにドン引きしたじゃろ。
What are you talking about?
どうして今一歩下がった。
I was just messing with you. By the way, aren't you going to buy 3 copies? One for reading, one for safekeeping, and one for admiring?
世界が偏見に満ちておる。
Sorry, I'll stop. I know there's nothing wrong with what you're doing. This is rather mean to me, alright? I only just heard about this out of you yesterday, and now I'm witnessing it firsthand today. I couldn't help it. Somehow I had this weird impression of you were the kind to play Minesweeper in a pitch-black room for hours on end. You said it yourself the other day, didn't you?
それもやっておるが。
Can you at least deny the pitch-black room part? I'm also going to have serious concerns about her mental health.
わわわがやってるのはマインスイーパーの皮をかぶった能力制御術じゃからな。この手の本を買うのも口頭無形な内容を実現可能なわわなら力に幅を持たせられるかもとさ。
That's not the problem here. The concerns are
まあ
growing.
魂を分けた重木さえそう思っていたのならわわわの隠蔽が完璧だった証明か。
They're going to keep it a secret from everyone.
この手の趣味って一般的にあまり受け入れられておらんじゃろ。
I think most people have become a lot more understanding these days. Unless you go overboard and try to force your hobbies on others, obviously. Yeah, you might still be teased or talked about behind your back, but things have gotten a lot better compared to the last
貴
generation.
様は当事者でもないからな。
Really?
それに周囲の環境にもよると思うのだ。
Care to elaborate?
友人、知人、家族とか。
It's not easy to be yourself in front of others, even if they're your friends. May not just be a matter of difference in tastes. Some people are ashamed of their own hobbies. I've even heard of people holding confession meetings. They have to gather people they care about and confess their hobbies. The rumors may have been exaggerated somewhat, but I kind of understand the rationale behind them. Of course, family plays a big role in shaping perceptions. People who grow up in a manga reading, game playing household may have a more positive view on those kinds of hobbies.
わわわの家は親父殿が特に厳格な人じゃからな。
Yeah, he plays a big role in the community as the head priest of the Awashiro Shrine, so he has a bit of a reputation. He's known to be a dignified and upright gentleman who shows no interest in any form of self-indulgent alcohol, tobacco, or gambling, for example.
直接何か咎められたわけでもないが、気分は隠れキリシタンよ。
Said the daughter of a Shinto priest. Oh, that's actually a good analogy considering your circumstances. I've heard of worse though, like a mother who does liver grinding for his son while he's busy at school. I guess it's just as you said, Karin. Who you're with really is the deciding
わ
factor.
かったか。それでわわわはわきまえておったのじゃ。
That's pretty amazing. No. I almost fell for it.
なんじゃ。
You're completely on about the one thing you have to hide the most.
バカを言うな。わわわの言わ。
That's exactly what I'm talking about. She totally shouldn't be, but she's in shock somehow. Why? Just why? Some of this whole situation reminds me of a certain species of big, scary, but mostly harmless birds that bury their heads in the sand to hide themselves. Do you know what people like you are usually called?
どうせ中二病とか言うのであろう。
Ostriches. Just kidding. Ah! That hurt! I'm sorry! She starts hitting me repeatedly without saying a
わ
word.
わわはちゃんと TPO に応じて白里かりんの人格と使い分けておる。
I'm sorry. What Kaida told me is to be trusted. Duh. Kaiden's generally seen as a composed and bubbly girl by her friends and family. And even customers who come to Mermaid seem to have the same impression about her, as bizarre as it sounds. Guess he's right on the money about innocuous. Is it possible for our cringe lords? Is it possible that cringe lord is surprisingly rational? I don't think I've ever seen the words cringe and rational in the same sentence before. Perhaps he's not a true blood. That is, only going through a phase. It's gotta be true for most of the victims of cringe. Nah, classification is pointless. She's fun to watch. That's enough for me. Some of her words and gestures feel so precious to me, cringe and all. It's like being fawned on by an utterly adorable creature.
どうした？爽やかに微笑んだりして。 またわわわを小バカにする方法でも思いついたか？なんじゃその失望の眼差しは。
Seems my feelings have failed to reach her. But maybe I'm at fault too, considering what I've been. No, self-blame is gonna solve anything. This place is practically your natural habitat. I have to take this chance to get to know her better. It's kind of fun, but can you recommend me a good series to read? Like the one you're rolling?
わわわのセンスが試されておる。
No, why stop being so dramatic? Suddenly, conversation I had yesterday flashes back in my mind. Actually, I want to know which one is your number one favorite of all time.
歴代でか？
Can you just tell me your origin? The series that got you hooked into darkness.
きっかけ。難しいことを言うな。
How so? Yeah, as my curiosity revolves around the origin of our identity. Yesterday, maybe said something along the lines of ideas with cringe characters all came from certain sources. Now I want to know where Karin took inspiration for her character from.
そもそものきっかけとなると、覚醒したわわわの力を人の発想の枠組みから外すため、能力バトルなどがあるこちらのものに手を出したのじゃが。
That's gotta be backwards.
どうしてわわわの記憶に重木がケチをつける？
I'm just being logical here. Well, for me, I'll be first one who has to feel an interest in a series or character before they develop this desire to become that very character. But Karin said she'd awakened to her power before she had any interaction with the source material. Then tell me what triggered your power to awaken.
それは言えぬ。わわわの根源に関わるからな。いつか重木になら話してやっても。
Ooh. Thank God she isn't just saving face and covering up her identities or unoriginality. It appears that she has some to back up her claim, even if she's not ready to share it with me.
ヒントはベッドの下じゃ。
Actually, I'll brace myself just in case. It's hard to say with certainty how much truth there is to her words, but I want to trust her. Now she already has my trust. My mind is tripping over itself trying to make sense of what she's saying. Judging from her hint, she could have taken inspiration from a dream she had while sleeping on that bed, or maybe she made up some of her on her own. Maybe she made up everything on her own. That'd be a daunting task for sure. Yeah.
おい、ものすごく失礼な独り言がダダ漏れになっておるぞ。
Keep coming up with new lore without bothering to address the pile of plot holes that's accumulated.
それはわわわの力が日に日に増して書き換わっておるからじゃ。
You sent your character to a publisher. I'm sure they'd send it back with a letter telling you to try your luck with another career.
重木！
Well, I doubt a remark is met with a sudden
貴
cheer.
様、さっきわわわに告白したよな。
Yeah, some of you grow stronger by the second.
なんかイメージと違う。とても長い夢の中にでもいるかのようじゃ。
Looks like I overdid it a little. Oh, it's nothing a scoop of sweet, refreshing ice cream can't solve. Jeez, still can't believe you didn't make the purchase after all the time we spent on picking one.
帰ってきてまでまだそんなことを言っておるのか、重木は。
I'm talking about the book she chose for me. Back in the bookstore after hearing all of my taste and stories and character, caught enough thought for a long while and eventually single out the perfect light novel.
ジャンルやキャラだけでない。文体にも合う合わないはあったりするのじゃ。あれならわわわも持っておるから、お試しに貸してやる。
I just wanted to help keep the industry alive. At least that's 1% of the reason. Remaining 99 is because I no longer have the precious book that Karin picked out for me. Maybe it has something to do with the pride of an expert, but the girl refused to back down no matter how much I insisted. I'd already made up my mind to lose my book virginity to it.
男がいつまでもグダグダ言うでないわ。
It was such a special occasion, too. Think about it. The girl I love worked so hard to pick the perfect book for me.
ああ、もう
Karin seems to have reached her limit as she lunges towards
良い
me.
か？わわわが本を貸すということは、貸す時と返す時で2回顔を合わせる機会が単純に増えるわけじゃ。ましてや返す時に次を貸す約束をしてみ。わわわと重木の仰せは永久期間になるんじゃぞ。それとも重木、貴様わわわと顔を合わせたくないのか？
I'm not sure what you're talking about, but sure, I want to keep seeing it.
さらっと言うな。わわわだけ必死か。
Karin starts groaning in agony for my betrayal. Just thank you. It's hard to describe, but somehow I'm feeling so happy right now.
わかればいいのじゃ。だか。
Let's go to your place to get the book. No, not today.
永久 期間になるのだから別に構わぬぞ。
That's not the problem here. Think about it. What if you run into your sister, or even worse, your father? I wouldn't even know how to introduce myself. Things may be different if you were already corrupt, but then right now, I'm just some bastard who's hitting on his daughter.
親父殿や姉御様に挨拶ちょっと。飛躍しすぎじゃバカ者が。
Oh, that's the path you were heading down, master. Things have gone rather silly all of a sudden. You text your sister,
重
right?
木と合流できたことと心配してもらった謝罪とお礼、他にあったか？
You didn't assure her you'd be home soon?
どうせ門限が19時と早いのでな。
Glance at my phone. We're past noon. We'll stop by Mermaid first. I think we can still make it if while we're open for lunch.
ダメではないか。
It'll be fine if only you had ice cream in your stomach today,
あ
right?
まり空腹は感じておらぬ。
Really?
二段重ねじゃったからかな。
Could have been 3 if you hadn't dropped one.
落としておらぬ。捏造する
Kind of flares up, but only for
な。
us.
やはり今はマーメイドに行くのは遠慮する。
Are you sure you can fight off the enemies of darkness on an empty stomach?
重木、わわわを攻略したいのならもっと必死になれ。告白した日ぐらいわわわに独占させよ。
I mean,
うん、
did you just
ちょっと噛んだだけじゃ。
stuttered? It sounded that way to me.
追求するな。だいたい重木、貴様、あんなこと言いながら初々しさのかけらもないではないか。
Gee, someone just told me they loved you and you're still unpleased. Spoiled little princess. She has no idea how desperate I am to keep this calm mask on. I'm dying to hear her answer. How can I not? But at the same time, I don't want to show her my pathetic side. So I'm doing everything to stop myself from bringing that up. Nervous as hell right now. Well, it takes a girl to relax. Girl to relax.
全然必死に見えぬぞ。
I am. Even right now, I'm twisting my brain to find an excuse to hold your hand. I'm being honest, but perhaps not entirely honest here.
なんと。そうだったのか。ほれ。
The strategy was on point. Karin easily amused, sticking out her hand as if daring me to hold it. Which is granted at small cost of my soul. I mean pride.
恋人つなぎ以外は認めぬからな。抵抗するわわわの指を一本一本開いていくのじゃぞ。
Why are you making it so difficult? Cute. Anyways, I'm gonna end it here for the day. I hope you guys enjoyed. So, see you next time. Bye.